Hello.
Hello.
Hi there, Ning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready for our lesson today?
Yes.
Very good. So now we will continue with our topic, which is about writing. Okay? For the
Okay.
TOEFL. All right. So could you please go to page 17?
Okay. I'm here.
All right, very good. So I believe that this is the lesson that we should take first, or we have to start with, right?
Mm.
Okay, great. So could you please read that for me?
Remember, if it's too difficult, so read and take note. Then do not attempt to do so. The reading passage will be available for reference while you are write. For the lecture, the main idea is generally opposite that of the reading, so don't worry about noting that. The examples offered in the lecture are are the parts you have to concentrate on. During the lecture, try to organize your note as follows.
Okay, so thank you so much for reading that. Now for the lecture, it says point one, and then for your opinion number one, you have to provide your supporting details. Another point number two, which supports idea or which supports the idea on point number one, and then you have to provide the details, and so on and so forth. It's like doing a hypothesis and providing the conclusion. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Could you please read the next paragraphs?
Even if you are unable to write down the detail for the example, you will need to try to remember them so you can refer to them your essay. If you don't mention specific points from the lecture, you will receive a lower score. For a second task, if it is very important that you come up with good reasons for your viewpoint. You need to tell the reader why you believe your opinion is better. Here's a good way to organize your doubt.
All right, very good. So in this example, for the issue, you have to write your own opinion, and then why are you thinking that it is good, and then you have to support it by your reason number one. So after you have provided your reason number one, you also have to provide details about it, and so on and so forth. Okay? So
Okay.
before we proceed to a sample response, a well organized essay, let us talk about the paragraphs that you have read. Okay? Now, I just would like to know first, could you please read this phrase for me?
Uh, difficult,
Sorry, there, could you please read that again for me?
difficult to read and take notes.
Very good. So please do not forget to make sure to enunciate the words in order for you to be understood. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. Now, could you please read this word again for me?
Generally, generally.
Very good. So again, it's generally. All right. So, how about this word?
Details,
Details.
details.
Very good. Like that. Details. And lastly, I heard you say this incorrectly. So how should you pronounce it?
Example.
Very good. It's not example, but it's not example, but X. You have to emphasize X. Okay?
Okay.
Example. So there. Again, with the paragraphs that you have provided, again, you have to remember it's if it's too difficult to read and take notes, then do not do so. Because in the lecture, the main idea is generally opposite the reading. Okay? Sometimes the lecturers will intend to not say everything, but you have to elaborate the idea. So if you were unable to write down the details, you will need to try remembering them. Okay? So that you can refer it on your essay, or it will be much better if you will be writing down the keywords. Okay?
Okay.
Just write down the keywords and I'm pretty sure that you can remember it. So you'll need to try remembering. Yeah. So if the main points from the lecture is not indicated, you will get a lower score. You have to remember that. One more thing. It is also important that you come up with good reasons for your viewpoint, because you need to convince people that your opinion is better. Okay?
Okay.
Again, you always have to justify that your opinion is better, so long as you have supporting reasoning and details. Alright?
Alright.
Very good. Now, could you please read a sample response for me on page 17 still?
A sample response. A well-organized essay. Let's look at a sample response for the second writing task. Here's the prompt. Do you agree or disagree with the following statements? Statement. The purpose of education should be to reach skills, not values. Support your position with detail and examples. Before you start writing, take time to organize. First, write down what the issue is. Issue: should school teach only skills and not values? Putting the statement into your own words or re- rephrasing it as a question is a helpful way to approach the prompt. Now, figure out which side of the issue you are on.
Alright, very good. Thank you so much for reading that. Could you please continue reading that on page 19?
Your opinion. Disagree. I believe schools should teach values as well as skills. After figuring out your opinion, ask yourself why you have that opinion. This is inform this is, this information will be useful for your introduction. Why? Because students need to know how to act in the world. Once you ask yourself why you have your opinion, you then need to list some specific examples. Reason: students may not get educated about values at home. Some parents don't teach values to their children. Thus, schools should teach them. Education is more than just skill. Students are going to use their education in the outside world. They need to know what's right and wrong. It's easier to teach values when students are younger. Education plays an important role in a young student's life, so schools are a good place to teach values.
Alright, very good. Ning, thank you so much for reading that to me. In short, in order for you to organize this kind of a well-organized essay, you have to address the issue first. After addressing the issue, you have to provide some reasoning and the details for that reason. One good example that I can provide you, or one good tip that I provide you, is to make sure that the reason one is connected to your detail number one. For example, students may not get educated about values at home because some parents don't teach values to their children. Thus, schools should teach them. You get the point? You can use because for or to support your reason as a detail, okay? But again, I would like to know, how should you pronounce this word?
Teach.
Very good. So again, my advice, if you think you will be having, or you are, not sure about about the word that you are going to say, you're going to pronounce, then do it slowly. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. Now, could you please read the second word?
World.
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 There, you have to enunciate the word or the letter D. World.
World.
Very good. Because if you were unable to enunciate the L and the D, it will only sound word. Okay, and it will be a different meaning.
Okay.
So now, again, the main highlight of a well-organized essay is to make sure that putting the statement into your own words or rephrasing it as a question is a helpful way to approach a prompt. Do you know what a prompt is?
Hint.
Thought. It's the
Thought.
thought, yes, of the question. Like, for example, the issue itself. That is the prompt. Should school teach only skills and not values? So that is the prompt. Okay. And again, are you familiar with the word rephrasing? Do you know what rephrasing means?
Not sure.
Okay, great. Well, rephrasing means changing of questions with the same thought, in which you have to use basic English words. There. So for example, I ask you, let me think. Okay. What was your opinion about the drowning economic in other countries?
Economic in other country?
There. You were unable to understood what I asked, right? But if I say, what can you say about the economy of other countries that is going down? So I have to rephrase, I have to repeat my question using basic English words so that you can better understand without me repeating the questions again. You got it?
I got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Alright, very good. So do you understand now what a well-organized essay is about?
Yeah, I think.
I think. Can we apply what you have learned from this one? Because I want you to create your own way of organizing your thoughts by providing the reason one, the details one, I mean the issue first, and then the reason one, the details, reason two, and the details. Okay? So, mm, there's the question. Let us do the activity. Okay, here. The topic or the issue is students should be required to take regular standardized tests to prove that they are learning. That is the issue. Okay? So, you have to say, or could you please provide me your own issue for this one? And then after providing me your issue, provide me your reason number one, and then your detail. And then reason number two. Oh, sorry. And then details. At least 3 reasons will be good. There. If you're still confused, you can always ask me. Okay?
Okay.
Could you please start doing the activity?
Okay.
Thank you. By the way, my dear Ning, for the issue, it should be in a question form.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Alright, so are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Alright, very good. Let us check your answers. So, for the issue, student, or for the topic, sorry, it should be topic. I have not noticed that, sorry. It should be, students should be required to take regular standardized tests to prove that they are learning. Your issue is whether students should take regular tests to prove they are learning a lot, learning or not. Okay. It will be much better if we will just remove the whether, because whether means conditional. And saying prove is also conditional. So it will sound redundant if we use two words that has the same conditional content. Okay? We can say if instead of whether, if students should take regular tests to prove they are learning or not. Okay?
I have a question.
Sure.
Why not use whether? Because if and whether, because if and whether are the same sometimes, and in this case, whether can replace if.
That is correct. But actually, what I'm trying to say here is that whether is a conditional word. It's like whether you like it or not, whether you leave or stay, and prove is an action word that expresses conditions. Like, can you prove me that your statement is wrong? Can you prove people that your opinion is better? So it's conditional. If we put two words in a sentence which has the same content, it will sound redundant. If is not a conditional word. You are actually asking if, okay? If students should take regular tests to prove they are learning or not.
So you means whether is conditional word, but if it's not. So so the or a little confusing.
Yeah, I understand it's a little confusing, but you have to understand that if is not totally a conditional word.
Okay.
Unlike whether is like it's a so-so. Whether students should take regular tests to prove they are learning or not. So you are trying, if we will use whether, you are trying to say that students also has the option to take the regular tests. If you want to say that by taking regular tests to prove that they are learning or not, it is really important, then you have to use other words, not whether. Because again, whether expresses yes or no questions.
Oh,
Like, do you think whether the students take regular tests or not, they will learn?
so whether only used in yes or no questions.
Yes, cannot be used by yes or no questions.
So
Whether you like it or not, whether you leave or stay. It's like, are you going to leave or stay?
oh, so if I using the whether means some simple options I need to take. That's right.
Yes, you have to think of um yeah, options for that one that can only be answerable by yes or a no.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you understand now why I used if instead of whether?
Yeah.
Very good. So again, if because again the main topic here is for the students to see if they are learning or not, by taking regular tests. Okay, so if students should take regular tests to prove they are learning or not. So for your reason number one, students are unable to realize how much they learn, and take regular tests can help them. I just would like to know on this first statement, is this a past tense or is it currently happening?
Currently.
Currently. Students are unable to realize how much they are learning. So we need to use an affirmative word for that one because this is recurring or this is currently happening.
Okay.
Okay. Students are unable to realize how much they are learning or they're learning, and taking regular tests can help them. Okay? That's a better way to say that. Students are unable to realize how much they are learning, and taking regular tests can help them. All of these words, the taking, learning, expresses present actions or present tense. All right?
Okay. Okay.
So, but good for this one. This is a correct reason. So let us connect that with your detail. Students are unable to realize how much they're learning, and taking regular tests can help them because when students take a test, the questions will help them to figure out what subjects they don't really understand. Very good. This is correct. Okay. Very good. So that is one very good example. Now for reason number two. Students are lazy and take regular standardized tests can force them to study. Very good. Students are lazy and taking regular standardized tests can force them to study because students are tired of studying, right? Because this is a
Okay.
past tense. Because students are tired of studying, regular tests would force them to study hard. Okay, I want you to rephrase this because it is really redundant. I want you to say the same thing. I want you to express the same thought, but use different words as much as you can. Okay? So, can you repeat the details again for me to support your reason number two?
Mm,
Or here, use this as your reference to provide another detail. But again, make sure that there will be no redundant statements. Do you know what redundant means, right?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'll give you enough time to think of it. Because here, you said on your reason that students are lazy and taking regular standardized tests can force them to study. Because students are tired of studying, regular tests would force them to study hard. Do you see the redundancy there? You use force twice.
Oh, force twice. Okay.
And you use study a lot of times.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that your details is also organized. So go ahead and try to rephrase the detail. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, let us check your rephrasement statement. So for the details, because students do not want to make their parents disappoint, regular tests would push them to put a lot of efforts to get a high score. Very good. Much better. Yes, very good. See, once you emphasize or once you um, elaborate your reasoning, it will provide you this kind of statements, a very more concise and organized answer. But there will be like minimal uh, correction that we need to do because students does not want to make their parents disappointed. Regular tests would push them to put a lot of effort in getting a high score. Okay,
Okay.
there. Very good with this one. So let us delete this one. There, very good, Ning. If you will always think this way, it will help you to become an effective writer. You have to elaborate your thinking. That is what really important. Now for reason number 3. Sometimes students cannot identify the importance in the subject of the subject because we are not pertaining inside the subject but the subject itself. So we have to use of instead of in. Sometimes students cannot identify the importance of the subject, and taking regular tests can help them to do so. Since some subjects are too difficult for students to learn, taking regular tests. Okay, again, you became redundant on this one. Taking regular tests can help students find out the importance in the subject. And in your reason, sometimes students cannot identify the importance of the subject. So again, it is getting redundant. Could you please rephrase this one for me?
Okay.
Like the one you did for reason number 2. I would really, really appreciate that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Alright, so let us go ahead and recheck what you have answered again. So for reason number 3, sometimes students cannot identify the importance of the subject, and taking regular tests can help them to do so. Because since subjects are too difficult for students to learn, in order to pass regular exams, we'll just have to use regular exams. In regular tests will sound redundant. Student um, student students will organize a study group to share their ideas about the subject. Very good. Much better. I really, really like it. This is much better than the first one. So there. So again, all you just have to make sure is there's no repetition of words or repetition of thoughts in order for your sentence to not sound redundant or your statement to not sound redundant. Because again, according to the remember, you have to come up with good reasons for your viewpoint because you need to convince them that your opinion is much better. And doing redundancy in lectures or in essays will provide you lower scores. So as early as now, I want you to learn how to construct a more concise and a more organized thought. Alright?
Okay.
Okay, very good. So, Ning, on our next meeting, which will be next Tuesday again for the writing, we will continue with this one. So I hope that you have learned a lot today as much as I do, with you, of course, and enjoy the rest of your day. Alright?
Okay.
Thank you for taking the activity with me, and take care.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.